Good morning, everyone. We are coming to you live via Facebook streaming, via YouTube streaming, and also via Skype online. Each one of you is welcome to this live streaming. Going within the Heart Sutra, inner core of meditation. The sutra says, therefore, O Sariputra, because this Heart Sutra is addressed to Sariputra, one of the monks of Buddha, a bodhisattva. The sutra says, therefore, O Sariputra, it is because of his non-attainmentness that a bodhisattva, through having relied on the perfection of the wisdom, dwells without any thought covering. He doesn't live in the realm of thoughts. Dwells without thought covering, nothing, there is no thought to cover. In the absence of thought coverings, he is not made to tremble. It is the thought, the continuous flow of thought that makes you restless, that makes you tremble, and that obstructs the inner journey and becomes an obstruction. Therefore, O Sariputra, it is because of his non-attainmentness that a bodhisattva, through having relied upon the perfection of the wisdom, dwells without thought coverings. And in the absence of thought coverings, he is not made to tremble. He has overcome all that can upset. Many things happen on a day-to-day basis that make you upset, tremble, but Bodhisattva has overcome. Nothing is there that can upset him, and thus in the end he attains to nirvana. All those who appear as Buddhas in the three periods of time, yesterday, now, and tomorrow, fully awake to the utmost right and perfect enlightenment, because they have relied upon the perfection of wisdom. It is an important sutra. We all live in thought coverings. Because of thoughts, we get upset. Our life undergoes many turmoils. One trembles. When there is no thought covering, everything moves smoothly. Meditation is the essential core of Heart Sutra. Or you can say Heart Sutra revolves around meditation. Or the Heart Sutra is the innermost core of meditation. Let us go into it. There are two things, concentration and meditation. In concentration, there is a self that is concentrating, and there is an object that is being concentrated upon. This is duality. In meditation, there is no duality, there is no inner, no outer. There is nobody inside and nobody outside. That means there is no one concentrating and no one to concentrate upon. You have an object and you are looking at it. So there is a duality, one who looks at the object, and what is being looked upon is an object outside. And who is looking at that object is one inside. So there is no boundaries, there is nobody inside and nobody outside. The in is flowing into the outside, the outside is flowing into the inside. The boundary, the demarcation, whatsoever is no longer exists. The in is out, the out is in. This is non-dual consciousness. Consciousness which is non-dual. The division between inner and outer has dissolved into one another. On the contrary, concentration is a dual consciousness. Someone is there to see, the other is to be seen. You read a post written by me or anyone. You are reading it, the post is outside. You read it in a judgmental mode, and when you say that you have said, you have given an important message, a very nice message, what does this mean? It means you are capable of judging me, my statement. It comes out of ego. Sometimes you say that you also know this. When I was growing, whenever my uncle, who I grew up with, is talking or saying anything, most of the time I understood. But if I have said that whatever you are saying is good, I have understood it, I would have lost, I would have denied something growing into me. It is because of ego. It is because of our own innerness, because of the duality. Whatsoever he is saying, you are not one with it. You are reading something written by someone who is a higher conscious than you, and the moment you say it is a very good message, you have brought yourself unconsciously to the level that you consider yourself equal to him in understanding. When you see a flower, being one with it is most important. It is said, Lao Tse used to go for a walk every morning. His neighbor has been asking him, requesting him to allow him to accompany him while he is walking. Lao Tse went on denying. Then one day he said, okay, you can come. So this neighbor went for a walk with Lao Tse. Maybe it was for the first time that he has been out for a walk. He had never seen the sun rising, and the sun was rising. There was a calmness surrounding. He simply said, sun is looking beautiful. Lao Tse did not say anything, and when he returned, he told the person, you talk too much. You are not going with me. Brij Mohan Lal, and I have seen Omkarnath after the dinner. He will walk. I have seen my uncle on top of the roof. He will walk and alone. Sometimes it happens, someone may want to have a talk with him. So they would ask me, I said, when you go, just stand there and let him notice you and ask. Because what he is doing there, he don't want to be disturbed. And if he notices you and he feels, he will ask you if anything is needed. So you want me to teach you how to live, how to be in the company of a master. Most of the people who read the post, they are judgmental. When I read the comments, आपने बहुत अच्छा संदेश दिया. You have given a beautiful message. आपने सही फरमाया. You said it true, right. Someone says right. All these are judgmental. It is like you are capable of judging an awakened one. If you are, then you don't need to read my posts. You are already healthy. You don't need to read. Being silent, these messages are there so that you can be connected to your inner silence. And that silence does all the work. And that what inner silence, when there is no duality, is the state of meditativeness, is Maratma. Only then you are waiting for something to happen to you. Concentration is a dual consciousness. That is why when you are concentrating, it creates tiredness in you. That is why when you concentrate, you feel exhausted. It is like a room is dark. The bulb has blown. You are looking for something. You take a torchlight. You Focus the light of the torch in a direction where you think the object may be. If the room has been in dark for quite some time, there may be cockroaches, lizards, and all those living in there. This is concentration. You are focusing the light of the torch into one direction. Its focus is small. The radius, the diameter, where the light goes is limited. On the contrary, you find a bulb and you change the bulb, turn on the switch, the whole room is filled with light. Every nook and corner, you do not have to concentrate. This state is meditation. You bring the light to the inner darkness, and in that very moment, everything gets illumined that is there. Concentration is when you are focusing the light into one direction. This is non-dual. That is why it creates tiredness. It makes you exhausted, and you cannot concentrate for 24 hours. For you, meditation is concentration. You sit down in meditation for 30 minutes and you say, it is too much. An awakened one is meditative 24 hours, 24/7. There is not even a single moment when he is not. He may not be sitting, he may be doing the daily routine work, engaged in his activities. You will recall the example of Brij Mohan Lal. He used to work in police office. It happened that at that time Brij Mohan Lal was staying in the same place where another sheikh, his father, Chachaji, also used to live. One day it happened, one of the disciples of Chachaji developed a problem with his eyes. So he heard that there is a Hakim based on the Unani treatment. He does the treatment. So he went and the Hakim gave him the medicine. Next day, another person developed a similar eye trouble. He also went. This made him curious. Yet still he gave him the medicine. Third day, another person developed the same problem and he went. Seeing the third person with a similar problem, he said, now I am not going to give you any medicine. First of all, you tell me, where do you go? These eyes seem to be wounded out of love. So the three were elderly persons. He said, what are you talking about? We are elderly persons. So he said, these eyes are wounded in love for a master. Unless you tell me the name of your master, I am not going to give you the medicine. Now it was the problem for these three people, and they were told not to give the name of the master. So they said, we have to inquire from our master and then I'll come back and give you the reference. So when they came and they told Chachaji what had happened, he said, no, don't give my name, give the name of Bade Miyan. He used to call Sufi Brij Mohan Lal as Bade Miyan. So gave the name, and he gave that he works in police office. He gave the medicine, they came back. So next day when these three were to go, they were very anxious. What this man has to say? who is a man of intuition and who could say so many things about my master. I need to know what does he think about him. So they went. They asked, did you go to the master? He said, yes, I went. Did you speak to him? He said, what do you talk about? I remained behind this man for 30 minutes, waiting for his one breath to be free from the remembrance of the divine, so I can pay my homage, my respect to him. He was busy with his office work, as if he will finish the whole work of the office in a day's time. But not even a single breath was free from the divine thought. Each breath was coming and going out with the echo of the divine. This is meditation. Meditation can happen even while you are engaged in the worldly activity. This is the worldly activity. He's sitting in a marketplace, working in a police office, and yet still he is meditating. So these three people, I call them musketeers. They were very proud and happy about the response of the Hakim, that my master is so great. But the master does not want any kind of ego arising in his disciples, even about himself. What to talk about otherwise? So he said, what do you think the man will be thinking about me, that I was so uncourteous? He remained behind me, standing for half an hour, and I did not pay any attention to him. And then a meeting was arranged between the two. And when two chefs, let's say, they meet, it is a delight. So the two masters, they are the chefs of the inner. They are the chefs of the inner. Each is paying respect to the other. The tawajjuh is flowing. The bliss, the joy is overflowing. And in that, all those who are there, it is a grand feast that is taking place at that moment. This is meditation. Meditation, there is no duality. There is no one inside and no one outside. It is not concentration. There is no division between the in and the out. The in is flowing into the out, and out is flowing into the in. The demarcation, the boundary, the border no longer exists. The in is the out and out is the in. This is a state of non-dual consciousness. Concentration is a dualistic consciousness. That is why it creates tiredness. It makes you exhausted. You cannot concentrate for 24 hours. Meditation can become a 24 hours, a moment to moment happening. Concentration comes out of the past. One has to drop. Concentration is a willed act. Meditation has no will. It is a state of inaction. It is total relaxation. One has simply dropped into one's own being. That is why state of meditation remains the same to you and I and all those who are in a state of meditation. In concentration, there is a plan, there is an idea. The mind continues to function out of conclusion. You are doing something. You tell someone, can't you see that I am doing something? This is concentration. It comes out of the past. In meditation, there is no conclusion behind it. You are not doing anything in particular. You are simply being. It has no past. It is uncontaminated of the past. It has no future. It is pure present. It is what Lao Tse calls Wu Vi Wu, action through non-action, action through inaction. This is what Zen Masters has been saying. Sitting silently and doing nothing, the grass grows by itself. Remember, by itself. Nothing is being done. You are not pulling the grass upward. The spring comes, the season of seasons, grass grows by itself. That state, when you allow the life to go on its own, when you do not want to direct it, when you want to give control, the entire control to life, you are not manipulating anything. When you are not enforcing any discipline on it, that state of pure, undisciplined spontaneity is indeed meditation. That state of pure, undisciplined spontaneity is meditation. It is in the present. It is pure presence. It is immediate. You cannot meditate upon, but you can be in meditation. You cannot be in concentration, but you can concentrate. That is the difference. Concentration is human effort, and meditation is divine. Concentration is human effort and meditation is divine. Concentration has a center in you from where it comes. It has a self in you. In fact, man who concentrates very much starts gathering a strong self. He starts becoming more and more powerful. He starts becoming more and more an integrated will. He will look more collected, one piece. When the Russian woman Nelia used to concentrate, she could move the objects. This is collected will. Man of meditation does not become powerful, but he becomes silent. He becomes more blissful, more peaceful. Power creates a conflict and it comes out of conflict. All power is friction. Out of friction comes electricity. When the two things are rubbed against one another, a spark is created. Electricity comes out of friction. You can create electricity out of water. When the river water falls from a certain height, there is a friction between the river and the rock, and the friction creates energy. That is why people who are seeking power are always fighting. Fight creates energy. It is always through friction that energy is created, power is created. But meditation brings peace. Peace has its own power, but is altogether different phenomena. The power that is created out of friction is always violent, aggressive, male-oriented. The power that the master uses comes out of peace. It is feminine in nature. It has a grace to it. It is passive. It is receptivity. It is openness. It is not out of friction. There is no violence. Buddha is powerful. Powerful in his peace. Powerful in his silence. He is powerful like a rose flower. He is not powerful like an atom bomb. He is powerful as a smile of a child, very fragile, very vulnerable, but he is not powerful like a sword. He is powerful like an earthen lamp, the small flame burning bright in the dark night. A Buddha is a small flame burning in the darkness, bright in the darkness of the night. It is a totally different dimension of power. The power is what we call divine power, not out of any friction. Only this much for this morning. We'll continue in tomorrow's session. Until then, take care and do have a pleasant day.